Kristen.
And I'm Jennifer.
And this is episode 2 of the Mississippi True Crime Podcast Show.
And today we're going to be talking about the Freedom Summer murders.
In June 1964, James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Schwerner had traveled from Meridian to the community of Longdale to talk to the members of a black church. The men had been working for the Council of Federated Organizations and the Congress of Racial Equality, otherwise known as CORE. They were working towards getting African Americans registered to vote in the state of Mississippi. The church was burned a few days later.
Since 1890 and onward through the turn of the century, Southern state had systematically disenfranchised the most black voters from voters by discrimination and voter registration and voting. Over the summer of 1964, members of the Ku Klux Klan burned 20 churches in the state of Mississippi. On June 16th, Klan members targeted Neshoba County's Mount Zion Baptist Church. They assaulted members of the church and burned the church to the ground. The church was the very church that the men had visited and Schwerner had worked at.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I know I want to say something about it, but I don't know what I want to say. That's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. It's definitely a different time than it is now.
Oh,
Thank goodness.
100%.
I mean, it's not 100%,
Yeah, we still got those kind of people.
right. But back then, this was just a way of life, and it's crazy.
It really is, especially to think about the changes from then compared to now.
Yeah, I'm just thankful that things have gotten better, and anybody can vote now at the age of 18 and over.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's no discrimination against that or who they vote for or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're 18, you can go and register no matter what.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter what race you are, what color your skin is.
If you're male, female,
mm-hmm.
as long as you're a citizen.
Yep. You can vote. And you have to be 18. Citizen and 18. And then you can vote.
Right?
Exactly.
It's so much better.
A lot.
But we still have a whole lot to work on.
Mm-hmm.
We have a ways to go. Yeah. But at least now we're getting better.
The men were arrested during a traffic stop for speeding outside of Philadelphia. They were escorted to jail, and there they would be held for hours. Schwerner asked to make a phone call, but Sheriff Deputy Cecil Price denied his request and left the jail. Price had said that the three men had to stay in jail until the Justice of Peace came and processed their speeding fines, even though the schedule of fines for speeding were clearly posted on the wall.
As per procedure, CORE members began calling nearby jails and police stations when the men didn't return on time. The jailer's wife claimed there weren't any phone calls made to the jail on June 21st, but CORE records show that a call was made to the Philadelphia police station on June 21st at 5:30 p.m.
That's some shady stuff going on. I mean, so court records show that they did call,
mm-hmm.
and yet you said the sheriff's wife.
Yes.
The sheriff's wife denied this.
Yes. She was the one answering the phones in the office. And she said that records show no phone calls were even made that day.
Either she's shady or has a really bad memory, and I'm going to go with the shady part.
Mm-hmm. She's shady AF.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Price returned to the jail a little after 10 p.m. and let the men pay the fines. There wasn't a justice of the peace present. and Price told the men to get out of the county.
Uh-huh.
This was the last time the men were seen alive.
During this time, Mississippi was the only state that didn't have a central office for the FBI. June 22nd, FBI agents from New Orleans, Louisiana, arrived to begin a kidnapping investigation. The disappearance of the men initially began as a missing persons case until their burnout car was found 3 days later. More agents would come to Mississippi over the next several days, eventually totaling over 200 agents.
What the fudge? 200?
Over 200. Yeah, that's impressive. It's impressive nowadays, too, but it was definitely impressive. back in oh, back in the 1960s. Moto, could you please behave?
He says, I want to be in a discussion.
What? Do you think it's impressive too? Sorry about my dog.
But seriously, 200. I mean, this day and age, that doesn't even happen.
Mm-hmm. It's like they put less and less agents out there. And then back then they put over, not 200, but over 200 agents on this one case.
Man.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh, Moto?
Well, at least they're out there and they're trying to find these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely doing their job.
Oh, that's for sure. After 6 weeks of searching for the men, a tip from an informant told investigators to look at the Eastern Dam at Old Jolly Farm outside Philadelphia. There, the FBI found bodies of Schwerner, Cheney, and Goodman on August 4th.
10 years later, the informant was identified as Mississippi Highway Patrol Officer Maynard King. Throughout the fall of 1964, the FBI continued investigating the case. On December 4th, the Justice Department charged 21 men with conspiring to violate Schwerner, Cheney, and Goodman's civil rights.
That doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't. That wasn't a violation of civil rights. It was capital murder.
Exactly.
They chased them down and murdered them in cold blood.
Oh my job.
I mean, seriously. How is that a violation of their civil rights?
I have no clue, but it's kind of dumb if you ask me.
Yeah, that. Up until that point, I think they were doing a pretty good job. But, I mean, at least they did get 21 of them.
Yeah.
And
21's 21.
yeah, but the prosecutors brought the charges before a federal grand jury, which indicted only 18 of the men in January of 1965.
18 to 21? That's still pretty good, but
it's still not everybody.
Yeah, but that is still pretty good. 18 out of 21. There's only 3 dudes that got away, but
it gets worse. It gets worse because in February, Judge William Harold Cox, he dismissed the charges against all of the most of the defendants, maintaining that the law applied only to law enforcement.
Hold on,
so everybody who was not in law enforcement, who was a defendant, was not charged.
They just said, okay, you're not law enforcement, bye. Oh, you're law enforcement? Unfortunately, you have to stay. What fucking sense does that make?
None whatsoever.
What in the world are you thinking?
What's the actual fudge?
So, law only applies to law enforcement.
When
Okay.
it comes to violating somebody's civil rights, sure.
We might as well be giving them like a Nobel Peace Prize. That's so smart.
Here's your participation award. Thank you. Bye. No, that isn't set right with me.
I agree. Like, it's just, you get that hearing about something like that, that gives you just a feeling in your gut, like, oh, that was actually said and that actually happened.
Yes, that actually happened.
Mm.
Yes, it makes your blood boil.
Mm-hmm.
It's infuriating, completely infuriating.
After 6 weeks of searching for the men, the prosecution appealed in 1966. The Supreme Court reinstated the charges, ruling that the law applied to both law enforcement officials and civilians. So finally, it did give it to civilians because it is true. It doesn't apply just to law enforcement.
Exactly.
Then, in February 1967, another federal grand jury indicted the men once again. In October, the trial began, and Judge Cox's once again, right for Judge Cox. Here are these men. Once again.
Yay! Maybe they'll actually do right this time. Let's see.
Hopefully.
As the trial proceeded, the prosecutors read the 1964 confessions of Dale, Burnett, and James Jordan, in which described what happened on the night of June 21st.
No problem. Well, we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully something good. As in good. Like put them up.
Good evidence.
Yeah.
Good evidence against.
Sorry, my brain's not working right now. The prosecution appealed in 19 after leaving Schwerner, Cheney, and Goodman in the Philadelphia jail. C.S.P.S. contacted Edgar Ray Killen, a local leader of the Ku Klux Klan. 2 cars of Klansmen left for the outskirts of Philadelphia. Price released the civil rights workers from jail and ordered them back to Meridian.
He then joined the pursuit of the core station wagon. They caught up to the 3 men on Highway 19. The Klansmen forced them into their cars and drove all the vehicles to Rock Cut Road, a nearby side street. James Jordan shot Cheney, and Wayne Roberts shot Warner and Goodman.
The men loaded the bodies into the core station wagon and drove them to the old Jolly farm, where they used a bulldozer to bury them in the earthen dam.
The jury found 7 of the defendants guilty: Cecil Price, Horace Barnett, Alton Wayne Roberts, James Aldridge, Billy Wayne Posey, James Snowden, and Samuel Bowers, the Imperial Wizard of Mississippi's White Knights Ku Klux Klan.
The jury failed to reach a verdict to convict a minister, and Killen walked free. Each of the convicted men were sentenced between 3 to 10 years, but no one would serve more than 6 years behind bars. For that. And that, no more than 6 years. That's crazy.
And only 7 of them got convicted of it.
And there was 21 of them?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
21 of them. And 7 only got sentenced. And some of them didn't even serve 6 years.
That's right.
Yeah. The most any of those 7 spent in jail was 6.
Not even a full 10 years. That does not sit right in my gut.
That's a giant slap in the face.
It's like, what the heck, man? Mm.
We would like to thank the FBI and Attorney General Michael Moore for all the hard work they put into it and helping convict the very few that were actually convicted in this horrible murder and serve time.
Stay safe and vigilant.
Watch out for assholes and weirdos.
If you like the video, give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to know when we post a new video, click the notifications bell beside. If you have a case you'd like us to talk about, then leave a comment down below. Bye!